What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the page. Very fun video today. So I've been sponsored by Stitch Golf for about 4 years now. I've been working with them since the beginning. So what we're gonna do is play 18 holes. We're at Heron Ridge Golf Club in Virginia Beach, and every score is going to have a dollar value assigned to it. So if I make an eagle, it's $75, birdies are 50, pars are going to be worth 10, but if I make a bogey, we take 50 away. If I make a double or worse, it takes $75 away. We're gonna keep track through the video, total it all up, and I'll be giving a gift card away to somebody in the comments that is a subscriber. So make sure that you comment and subscribe on this video for a chance to enter. Let's do it. First hole, right around 390, a little back into the wind. It's a little chilly. We're gonna play the blue tees. We're gonna go up a box, try to make a couple birdies, try to win the people some money. So OB left, bunker left, about 1,000 yards right. Should be perfect. Yep, pump should have somewhere in that 100 to 110 range, depending if it rolled out or plugged or not. Path only today. Hate to see that. It's not that wet. I guess they're trying to save the Bermuda a little bit. And I have right around 100, finish at dead middle of the green. All right, 97, a little cold, back into the wind. Probably playing closer to 105. If I hit a full 54, more full one, it's gonna get there, but it's probably gonna have too much spin on it, get too high. So gonna go with the knockdown 50. Gonna try to play a little low flighted 105 one in there. Good start, the wedges work. Probably 8 feet past it, a little downhiller, but it should be a pretty good look to try to get off to a hot start here. Heeled up nice, so rolled out a little bit. That was a little more firm than I thought it was gonna be. Have about 12, 15 feet here. Landed right next to it, landed 2.5 feet, just didn't spin, so good to know going forward. Man, this thing looks so straight. Just looks straight back down the hill here. Pulled it or moved a little left. All right, even through one won't hurt us. All the par fives here are fairly gettable, so I have a good one coming up next. Good dog leg right. Par five, right around 530, back into the wind. Little group of trees here on the right, just have to avoid that. A little back into the wind, gonna tee it down just a hair, try to hit a little squeeze cut. Not sure if it'll stand out on video, but there's a little gray electrical box that's about 2 feet high out in the distance. That's kind of the line there. Part path bounce. It's gonna be fine, but maybe take a couple yards off. It would have been nice if that kicked right, but that'll be just fine. Probably somewhere in that 210, 220 range in. 213, a little back into the wind. The course isn't super long, right around 6,500. It's a little cold, a little windy. The big defense here is the greens. They have shrunken them big time over the past few years, and they're very undulated. So each green kind of has like 3 or 4 little compartments, and if you don't get it within that one, you're gonna have a very rough putt that's gonna break a ton, so have to try to get it into the right spot. I'd go so close. Go. All right, just on the front edge. Hit that pretty well, just back into that wind. It just killed it as soon as it got in the air. Maybe caught it like half a groove to the end, but got an eagle look. Long one, but it's an eagle look. It's gonna be fairly slow up the slope early. There's gonna be this little ridge about 3/4 of the way there. Everything's gonna feed down and left, so tricky little one. Have to hit it with enough pace to get it through this little bit of fringe, get it up the slope, but not have too much speed carrying over that slope there. That was horrendous, Stoney. Not great there. That went right way harder than I thought it would early. Just kind of blacked out on that part of it, but we've got an 8-footer for bird. So there shouldn't be a ton in this one, so I thought in the last putt too, so we'll see. But it should just be on that right edge. All right, frustrating par there, but did not lose money. We are up $20, couple good birdie looks coming. All right, frustrating 3-putt there. Dogleg right par 4. This one is, I believe, right around 380, 370 yards, somewhere in there. It's gonna try to peel a cut right off the left edge of that bunker and get it around that corner as far as possible. A little bit. Should be perfect there. Cool. So we've got 112 back down the hill. Greens are not spinning a ton. a little bit into the wind, probably play it right around the number, maybe 115. So if possible, I do want to try to leave this ball underneath the pin to have an uphill look and not hit anything past it where I'm gonna have a downhill slider. So you're gonna try to just land it right over that front edge. Not quite under the hole. Flew that a little far, but great swing. Can't be too mad at that one. That was flush. So I have a slippery little 8-footer coming. So landed just past it, so flew a little further than I thought back into that wind. So back down the hill, going to be fairly quick. Definitely braking pretty hard right to left. Have to be somewhat careful with this one. One more. Man, hit it so soft, just broke a ton. But all right, that is going to be 3 pars in a row. We are at $30. Good short 340-yard par 4 coming. All right, putter's got to heat up at some point. Got 340 downwind. Pin is all the way in the front pocket of the green. So this is a full green light special here. This one, it's a little deceiving off the tee. From down the line, it's going to be pretty much right over this big tree is kind of the line where this green's going to be on. Try to start it just left of it and peel a little fade onto it. Have probably 40-50 yard pitch shot from there, but just did not cut. A little bit of hazard and trees down the right side, so couldn't get too aggressive there, but hit it well. So got it to about front edge of the green. Dicey little chip shot here, not a ton of green to work with. Greens have been a little more firm than expected. They're not really spinning. They're just kind of landing and rolling out an extra 10 or 12 feet than I'm used to out here. So probably have to land this one just short of the green and let it run up to this. God, I thought that was going to be so good. Gonna blame that one on the new grooves. You could see it just hit and just grab and pop straight up in the air. So maybe could have landed it on the green. Landed it right where I wanted to. Couldn't be too upset about that one. It just hit into that Bermuda and died. A little bit of fringe you go through. Looks like it's going to wiggle a little left and then be fairly straight once it gets on the green. Not a great one there. All right, even through 4, that is $40. First par 3 of the day coming up. All right, we've got 172. Pin is just kind of dead center of this green. Creek short, bunker long, so need to make fairly solid contact to at least put it in between those. 72 is so in between. It's a big 8. Yeah, kind of front center of the green, good uphill look, but never risk going long into that bunker. Should be just fine. A little short, did not quite get back there, but could not risk long into that bunker. Should be fairly straight up this hill. Looks like there's maybe just a little left in it early, but there's not going to be a lot in it with how hard I have to hit this thing to get it up there. All right, good speed. We'll take that from that distance all day. All right, that is $50, I believe, so 5 pars in a row. Back-to-back par 4s coming. Try to finally get some birdies going and put some holes together here. 400-yard par 4, straight away, wide open. Pretty much take it just right to that 150 pole out in the distance. Heel spinning. Fine, but not very well struck. A little stuck there. It'll be all right. We'll find it, but making it a little more difficult than it needs to be. All right, 125, either hit cart path or just landed on the back of the slope here, kind of kicked us over towards the 7th hole. So a little bit of a blind shot, downwind, greens seem to be running out a little bit, gonna play it right around 115. Here, right, wind got it a little bit. Yeah, that's not going to be great. That's going to be, I mean, it'll probably be front edge of the green, but we just got up into the wind and blew it to that front right edge there. So got that one a little too high up into the wind. Wind just shoved that right as soon as it got in the air. Needed to pay a little more attention there with that. But this putt's going to break a ton. Probably going to have 3 feet of break to it. It's almost at the bottom of the flagstick, I think. It's probably going to move 5-6 feet. All right, good putt, another fairly stress-free par. So it should be 6 pars in a row, $60. Good par 4 coming with a pretty accessible pin. So should hopefully be a good opportunity to finally get on the board here. 390 par 4, water left, wind is pushing this out of the right. Gonna go with 3-wood here, so there's a little bit of marsh that starts to creep in on the left and right sides at right around 280. So driver is gonna get close to those. So we're gonna take the 3-wood down the right center and let this wind push it back to the center of the fairway. That should be perfect there. Cool, probably have another 115, 120 yard shot. All right, should have right around 100 yards. That one has hit really well. There's a little bit of anger in that one from the from this start so far. So pin is all the way in the front edge. There is a little bit of a back slope right behind this pin. So we've got 97, a little tricky because some of the greens are just kind of hitting and running, and then some have swung back a little bit like the iron on the par 3. So a little bit of a down slope. So I have to decide, do I want to try to land this short and skip it up or land it back and rip it? That back slope is big enough. I think it will spin back off of that, so probably going to try to play this one right about the number, land it just past the pin, and let that slope bring it back. Come back. God, man, yeah, I mean, it was a great shot, landed it right where I wanted to. Just kind of hopped and landed right on the face of that slope and did not move or come back. So we'll have another little downhiller, but greens are just a little more firm than they usually are out here. So it's tough to adjust to them not ripping back. I thought that was gonna be money. All right, gotta have this one. We gotta get hot. So going to be very quick down this slope. Definitely braking a little bit to my left once I get over it. Going to be hitting it so soft, gonna have to play a little bit of extra brake there, and it's gonna ease this one down. Stop moving at the tail end. All right, 7 pars in a row. That is $70. Have the second par 3 coming, and then 9 is a par 5, probably most difficult hole on the course. So this hole is the first hole I ever had a hole-in-one on. So it was, I think, 14, 180 yard 4-iron. So it would be great to try to repeat that now and try to win some money for the people, but unfortunately, this is probably the most difficult pin position on the entire golf course from this angle. So this pin is tucked right over top of this bunker. Grab an 8-iron so I can take something and launch it up into the wind, try to get it to land a little softer over this bunker. Go 2 yards. Nope. I should be there just on the front edge. Wind just kind of got that and shoved it pretty hard back towards the center of the green. It's tough to get super aggressive to that one. So a tricky little one here, good amount of fringe to cover. Pin is right on the top of a slope here. I'm kind of feeling the putter just because going through this fringe up the slope, I know I can hit it hard. If it was kind of a change in tier, change in slope, it would be a little trickier, but I know it's braking right. I can just hit this pretty darn hard, and it should be fairly easy to judge the speed. One time. Probably couldn't have chipped it closer than that. So thought it was in, thought we finally got one, but try to clean this up and go take advantage of the par 5. All right, par 5 coming. I don't remember the last time I did not make a birdie on this 9, and I refuse to let it be now. So we're birdieing 9, then we'll head over to the back 9, 1 under. Water left, hazard right. Wind is a little back into out of the left here, which actually can be good. It makes this fairway a little wider. Driver can run through if it gets downwind. So we're gonna tee up over on this left side and kind of play a small fade, hopefully right down the left center, and kind of bleed it away from that water there. Perfect. Should leave 4 or 5 iron in from there. So perfect spot, downwind. That line would have been a little dicey, so let's see what we got here. We've got back pin, back right pocket, 213. Wind is helping it that way, so pretty much just gonna aim this one dead center of the green and let this wind push it right. Yeah, it should just be pin high, about 25, 30 feet left. That should be a good spot there. So just off back fringe here, have about 25, 30 feet. A little downhill at the tail end, so I have to be careful with the speed, but eagle would be huge for the program if this could drop. It's definitely gonna have a good amount of slide to it, be a little quick and kind of slip right at the tail end there. Got Good speed, just gave it a little too much, but should hopefully break the seal and get the floodgates open here for a few birdies coming into the back nine. On the board, so that is going to be 8 pars for $80, a birdie for $50. So that is going to bring us to 130 total on the front, and we'll try to get this over 300. Let's try to go 200 plus on the back nine. The longest par 4 the side, the 10th, right around 415, 420. A little bit of hurt wind, so going to be probably the toughest hole the side. Pin is tucked over on the left, so if I can squeeze this down the right side to give myself a better angle in, that would be great. But also, cart path is on the right side, and I'm lazy and don't want to walk across the fairway, so going to try to take this one down that right edge. Didn't see it come down, but we kind of lost it at its peak, but the wind was beating it back left, so probably gonna have around 160 or so back into the wind there. All right, 159. That wind pin is all the way on the back edge, so it cannot go long of this one. Got it fairly close to the cart path. I think we're about 4 yards off, so save some steps there. A little bit of a hanging lie, so this ball is definitely gonna rip left. So going to aim this one fairly center of the green, maybe just right center, and let the wind and the slope bring it back there. Have a little chippy 8. Oh man, that's way short. That wind, dude, I just am not giving it enough credit. That wind hammered that ball. So landing it onto a little downslope, gonna run up, pin is on a face of a little upslope here. So really not too difficult of a shot, this one. It was the clubs the entire time. That's probably the best pitch shot I've hit in the past month. So I will take that and run every time. Contact was great. All right, par to start. This is going to be probably the most fun 3-hole stretch of the course. So we've got semi-reachable par 5, drivable par 4, very gettable par 5. So need some fireworks here to get some money on the board. All right, first par 5 of the side. It is a pretty hard dogleg left. So I want to try to favor right center off the tee to give myself an angle in and not block myself out. Probably the most difficult green at any course around here, honestly. It is. They've shrunken it big time. You'll see it's pretty much just an upside down dome, and there's like 2 pin positions they can put on this green. So we'll see if they have it in a accessible spot or a pretty impossible one. So maybe 10 yards left to where I wanted it, but that will shorten the hole up a little bit, so that'll be just fine. So when you see down the line, there's going to be this bunker. Pin is probably about 20 yards left of that. So we're going to close down the 5-wood a little bit and just try to hit this full and let it peel around this corner just a touch. May just be a hair right of the pin, but I did exactly what I wanted to. You can see it peeling nicely, and then all of a sudden the wind just hit it and kind of held its line, but should be a great shot there. So this green, like I said, is beyond messed up. It's pretty much just an upside down bowl. They shrunk it in by like 8 feet along the fringe line. There's no way this pin is legal. Like, that thing is, what, 4 feet off the green, 1.5 pace and a half off the green. So that's I mean, I'll take it. Anything that back right corner is impossible. So it's I'll take anything in this front pocket though. Got to play a little low runner, obviously cannot fly this. So probably going to take the 55 degree, play a little low, just bump and run, try to land this a little short. Missed the green and have 3 feet for birdie. All right, another 50 bucks for the people. So we are up to 60 on this side already with 2 more gettable holes coming. All right, we've got a drivable par 4. It's right around 260. Pin is all the way up front, so it can play anywhere from 260 to 290. So going to, wind is pushing this right, so we're gonna have to flirt with this tree line on the right and try to let it draw in there. Can't tell if that was enough or not. That was enough to get there. It's 15, 20 feet. If it was a little short and kind of floated up into the wind, it will probably be bunkered just short, just in front of that green there. So it has to be just short in this bunker. Hit it really well. It's got a little floaty up into the wind, but not too bad of a bunker shot here. All right, little downhill right to lefter here. Definitely gonna slide a pretty good amount. I'm gonna play this about cup and a half outside that right side. All right, 3 of the last 4, heating up a little bit. All right, 3 under through 12, very gettable par 5 here. Going to be right around 490. So if you hit a good one, you can catch a little bit of a speed slot here. Water is on the right, got to avoid right side, so gonna come over to the right side, and then there's gonna be this one big single tree out in the distance, kind of play cut right off. That's the plan. A little bit, kind of heel thinned it and didn't feel it enough. Did a good hop. All right, we'll see. May have a little bit of tree trouble, but we'll find it. Those trees aren't too dense over there if they are in them. Jinx it, man. All right, did not hit a good drive. Not an automatic birdie, so it kind of jinxed this. There is a gap, it's 247 over water. Have to keep it low, back pin, and need to hook it. So not a very high percentage shot, but we're gonna try to close down a 3-wood and get it to come out nice and low and see if we can get lucky and throw them back there close. Honestly did not see it come down. It got through and it was hooking. So it's not in the water, but we're gonna have to go searching for that one. Probably just left of the green somewhere. All right, this is an adventurous hole so far. A little long left of the green. Green is running away from me. I have about 50 yards or so need to really try to land this one about 40, and it should just hit and run. A little greasy lie here off this kind of hard pan dirt stuff. Go a little bit, go a little bit. The shorts kind of stubbed it into this stuff. Felt firm on top and got into it. It was a little soft. So turning this par 5 into a very stressful hole when it should have been a fairly easy birdie, but try to get lucky and roll one in here, get away with par. Cool. So slippery little putt, much more work for birdie than it would have been preferred, but try to get this one semi-close and make this as stress-free as possible. Try not to lose anybody any money after getting on a little hot streak there. All right, fairly quick, breaking probably about 2 ball width or so. All right, 3 under through 13, still up, what is that, 120 on the side, so still want to try to get this up to 200 plus on this side and get it over 300 bucks for everybody. All right, 370 par 4, water right. Only tough thing about this one is you've got bunker and out of bounds on the left. But if you play it safe down the right side, you start kind of getting into rough below the green in these slopes, so you can get some uneven lies out of the rough to a green up above you, which can be tough to get it close to. Pretty much just gonna aim this one dead middle. Wind is pushing it a little left, so not gonna try to get too fancy with drawing this one. That's perfect there. That'll be a great angle in. We got 89 yards. Wind is, from this angle, it's a little into, a little cross. Greens are not spinning a ton, so it's gonna hit the 55 degree. There's gonna be an American flag right behind the pin I'm aiming at, so try to play it pretty much 92, 93 at this couple of yards there. Oh, that's stuck in the ground hard, that was so muddy. Good hop, it's on the right edge, but that thing just dug straight into that dirt. That thing was super, super muddy. Club just got stuck down there, but I have about 20, 25 feet or so for birdie, so not the cleanest contact, but we gotta look. It's gonna break a little bit right to left, be fairly flat, so it's one that can be fairly aggressive with and try to steal one here. Come on. Needed it, huge. Another 50. Stole a long one finally, so could not get anything to drop all day, but kind of makes up for 13. Should have had one on the last hole. All right, 3 birdies so far on the back, so that brings us to, I believe, a 170 on the back 9. So good hole here. Par 3, wind is pumping out of the left, pushing it right. Pin is in the front right, water is right. So got to aim left and let the wind drift this one back here. All right, Take that. Was not trying to intentionally get that right of the pin, but kind of kicked and rolled underneath the hole, so that should be a great look, about as good as you can get here. Again, going to be another pretty big breaker here. Probably have to take this about a foot out to the left. Eating up, baby. Let's go. Took a while, but we're finally cooking. 5 under through 15. That is going to bring us to, what is that, 4 birdies on the back. Quick math, 200, 220 on the side. So is that 340 overall? So we're gonna have to double check that math. Don't quote me on it, but we'll make sure that's in the ballpark. So, all right, 5 under heading into 16. Like I said, to get entered for a chance to win the gift card at the end here, you have to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below, and I'll give it a little time once this video drops, and I'll pick somebody in the comments. For those of you who don't win, code BryceCope20 is going to take 20% off Stitch, golf bags, apparel, everything you can need, head covers. I think whoever wins the gift card can also use that. I believe you can double down and get an extra 20% out of whatever this ends up being. But let's try to finish strong here and get a couple birdies coming in. Into the wind pushing it right. Gonna take a little pitching wedge, aim it kind of between like right fringe and pin, and just hit a chippy one in there. Try to get it to kind of one hop and stop right next to it. A little short, a little premature going ball. Yeah, that one actually spun a little bit compared to the last couple, but not a great shot there. Just kind of zip back to the front edge of the green, but should be a fairly easy uphill look. But gotta love the go-in call and hit it to 40 feet. That's a sick look. It's got up into the wind, landed into the face of the slope and spun. But it can be real aggressive with this one, so try to steal another one. Putter's hot right now. All right, definitely gonna slide right up this hill and then flatten out at the tail end. Gotta hit it with some speed. Blast the back turning. Not great there. Should be fairly straight back down this hill. Not a whole lot to this. I'll pace. A little too aggressive there. All right, tough bogey there. Misread and misjudged the speed on the first one. So it brings us back to 4. It's going to take 50 off the board. Good par 3 and par 4 finish coming. All right, 178. Wind is going to be pushing it a little bit from right to left. So pin looks like it's on the back edge, so don't want to go too long. Should just be a comfy 7, maybe choke down on it just a hair if there's a little bit of help wind with the draw there. And that looks like it's a foot away from it. We'll see. It's probably a little deceiving, but I don't think I can physically hit a golf ball better than that. So if it's the right club, should be a great look for birdie there. Felt guilty about the bogey for the people, so that looks like it's tap in, so should get that $50 right back and put it right back on the board again. Make birdie, try to get another one coming down the stretch on the 18, but we'll see. We'll see if it's deceiving when we get up here or not, and it's actually like 8 feet. God, it looks so good from the tee. Got sick of having wedges into everything. Kept hitting those like 40 feet, just needed to get something a little bit longer. All right, $50 back on the board just like that. So that gets us back to 5, heading to 18. Boring start, 8 pars in a row, birdie on the last to go, plus 130 on the front. 5 birdies and a bogey on the back. We are at plus 220 on the back. Heading into 18, we are up 350 total. So let's try to get this to $400. And then, like I said, BryceCope20, we'll kind of add an extra 20% onto that. I think you can stack them, but don't quote me on it. So last hole, right around 380, par 4. OB down the left, we have a ton of room right. Just gonna tee this up left side, fire it down the right, a little bit of help wind. Try to get on that right side and have a good angle to this pin. Just try to finish it off strong. All right, 77, pin is in the back, a little downwind. I've got the 60 degree going to just try to hit about a 70 shot. Wind should carry it and should kind of take one hop back there and sit semi-soft. Gotta go, let's go short. Oh man, I felt the downwind and thought I could baby it. Just kind of went right underneath it. So have a long look there, but try to sneak one more in there. Maybe a little slow to start. Definitely need to get it to apex somewhere up in here, and it should pick up a little speed and feed right down to that. Man, that thing just hit the brakes. It was a good line. Thought I had a chance there for a second. All right, so that's gonna be 360 total to stitch. So like I said, I will put a description under the video that's gonna go over the rules. We'll probably pick somebody that follows or subscribes and comments in about a week or so once this video drops. But as always, appreciate you guys watching and stay tuned for more.